When fans thought Carin and Matt were forever, the unthinkable happened. After years of watching their love story unfold on Little People, Big World, the couple who once seemed destined for marriage are now facing the kind of twist no one saw coming. Carin, who stood faithfully by Matt's side through family drama, farm disputes, and the challenges of life in the public eye, has now reportedly walked away. And not just walked away, she's moved on. Rumors are swirling that Carin has left Matt to be with a younger man, and the whispers have grown louder with claims that she's already preparing to marry her new boyfriend. For fans who have followed this couple from the very beginning, this news feels almost impossible to process. The Roloff family has seen its share of heartbreak over the years, but Carin and Matt's relationship always seemed like one of the constants, the one bright spot that suggested love could endure, even after Amy and Matt's messy divorce. Many believed Carin was the one who would finally bring stability back into Matt's life. Marriage seemed like the natural next step. Instead, the story has taken a devastating turn. With betrayal, heartbreak, and fresh uncertainty now hanging over the Roloff family, everyone is asking the same question: how did this happen? And what does it mean for Matt's future? Hello viewers, welcome back to my channel. For Roloff family latest news update, please subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon. When Matt Roloff and Amy Roloff finalized their divorce after nearly 3 decades of marriage, fans of Little People, Big World were left wondering what the future would look like for both of them. It didn't take long before Carin Chandler entered the picture. Unlike many who come into the Roloff family circle, Carin wasn't a stranger to the farm or the cameras. She had worked behind the scenes for years as part of the Roloff Farms team, managing pumpkin season, and working closely with the family. Her familiarity with the lifestyle, the farm's demands, and Matt's unique challenges gave her an edge that no outsider could easily match. At first, their connection seemed almost natural. Carin had been around long enough to know the dynamics of the family, the business, and the television spotlight. However, this familiarity also sparked controversy. Some viewers speculated that her relationship with Matt began while Amy was still living on the farm, and even though both Matt and Carin denied anything inappropriate, the whispers of overlap lingered. Fans were divided. Some believed Carin was a stabilizing force in Matt's life, while others saw her as a wedge that widened the already tense gap between Amy and Matt. As Matt's health struggles became more prominent, his back surgeries, mobility challenges, and constant pain from his condition, Carin's role seemed even more crucial. She was portrayed as his rock, helping him manage day-to-day life and ensuring he could still enjoy the farm that meant so much to him. Viewers often saw Carin stepping in to handle things Amy once did, from organizing farm events to providing emotional support. For many, it was proof that Matt had found someone who genuinely cared for him beyond the fame and finances. Then came the farm saga. Matt's decision to put part of Roloff Farms up for sale created one of the most controversial storylines in LPBW history. Fans were outraged when Zach and Jeremy, 2 of his children, couldn't reach a deal with him to buy the land. In the background, Carin was often shown supporting Matt, standing by him as he faced criticism from not only his family but also longtime viewers who accused him of choosing money over legacy. Her loyalty, at least on camera, was unwavering. For years, Carin and Matt projected the image of a solid, steady couple. They vacationed together, spent holidays side by side, and even weathered the storms of fan backlash. When Matt built his dream house on the farm property, fans assumed it was only a matter of time before Carin would officially move in as his wife. Their relationship appeared stable, practical, and mature, something many thought Matt desperately needed after the bitterness of his divorce from Amy. And that's why the recent turn of events is so shocking. For fans who believed that Carin and Matt were destined for marriage, the news of their split feels like a betrayal of the narrative that had been built for nearly a decade. What once seemed like an unshakable bond is now unraveling in front of everyone, leaving fans stunned, questioning what really went wrong, and wondering if the signs had been there all along. When the news of Carin walking away from Matt first broke, fans immediately began speculating. Why now? After all, their relationship had spanned years of loyalty, companionship, and very public commitment. But when you dig deeper, the cracks were always there. One of the most talked about issues was the age gap. Matt, in his early 60s, had lived a life defined by responsibility, raising 4 kids, building Roloff farms, and managing health struggles. Carin, though not drastically younger, was at a different stage of life emotionally. She seemed to crave a sense of freedom and excitement, while Matt's world revolved around routines and farm management. For years, she embraced his slower pace, but perhaps in the end, she realized she wanted more than just being the partner of a man tied to his land and his legacy. Then there's the matter of lifestyle differences. Matt has always been a dreamer and builder, constantly planning, constructing, and envisioning the future of the farm. His mind rarely strayed from Roloff farms, and while that passion made him successful, it may also have left Carin feeling overlooked. She reportedly wanted travel, spontaneous adventures, and a shared focus on building a future together, not just tending to the farm's never-ending projects. Fans also can't ignore the tensions within the Roloff family. From the very beginning, Carin faced criticism from viewers and even suspicion from some of the Roloff kids. To many, she was the replacement for Amy, Matt's ex-wife, and that shadow never truly disappeared. Living in the midst of constant judgment, both from fans and within the family, could have taken a heavy toll. While Matt was used to public scrutiny, Carin wasn't as seasoned in weathering the constant storm of criticism. Another layer comes from Carin's deeper desires. Rumors suggest she longed for something Matt simply couldn't or wouldn't give: passion, romance, or even a marriage commitment. While Matt had already been through a high-profile divorce and was hesitant about remarrying, Carin may have been ready to take that next step. And when it didn't come, her patience may have finally run out. Speculation has only grown louder around whether Matt's obsession with the farm played a major role in the split. Was he so focused on securing his legacy, passing Roloff farms to the next generation, shaping the land and controlling the narrative, that he neglected Carin's emotional needs? To outsiders, it almost looked as though the farm was Matt's first love, and Carin had to settle for second place. Put all of these pieces together: age differences, lifestyle clashes, family drama, unmet desires, and an overwhelming farm legacy, and it paints a picture of why Carin might have finally said, "Enough is enough." When Carin walked away from Matt, the last thing fans expected was for her to step so quickly into someone else's arms. But that's exactly what happened. Almost overnight, Carin was spotted with a younger man, a boyfriend who seemed to be everything Matt wasn't. He was vibrant, energetic, and carried himself with a certain charm that instantly drew attention. Where Matt had been steady, cautious, and often tied down by his commitments to the farm, this new man represented spontaneity, adventure, and, most importantly, freedom. The relationship moved at lightning speed. Within months, whispers turned into confirmations. Carin wasn't just dating, she was preparing to walk down the aisle again. This wasn't a slow buildup of years, like what she had with Matt. This was a whirlwind romance, fueled by passion and the thrill of something new. For many fans, it begged the question: had Carin already been emotionally detached from Matt long before she left him? Or did this younger man simply awaken a side of her that Matt had never been able to satisfy? The reactions online were explosive. Supporters of Matt felt betrayed, claiming Carin had used him during his vulnerable years, only to move on once she got what she wanted. Others, however, defended her, arguing that Carin had every right to chase happiness, especially if she felt Matt was never going to give her the marriage or excitement she longed for. Social media lit up with debates, some fans praising her courage, while others accused her of cold-hearted betrayal. And then there's Matt's perspective. According to insiders, Matt was left completely blindsided. He had believed Carin was still invested in their future, even if he wasn't ready to rush into marriage. But instead of working through their differences, she had already found a new path, and it didn't include him. Friends close to Matt say he was deeply hurt, not just by the breakup, but by how quickly Carin seemed to replace him. For a man who had spent years imagining a future with her, it was a devastating blow. This all leads to the bigger question: what was Carin really chasing? Was this about reclaiming her youth and escaping the weight of Matt's slower, more settled lifestyle? Was it about freedom, after years of dealing with the pressures of Roloff family drama and public scrutiny? Or was it simply about finding true love with someone who could offer her what Matt never did: passion, commitment, and the promise of marriage? The answer, for now, remains unclear. But one thing is certain: the story of Carin's new relationship and shocking marriage has forever changed the narrative fans thought they knew about her and Matt. For Matt Roloff, this breakup isn't just another chapter closing. It's an emotional storm that hits him on multiple levels. On a personal front, he's facing the loneliness of losing a partner he thought would be by his side for the rest of his life. After years of companionship with Carin, the idea of starting over again feels overwhelming. Fans who have followed Matt since the beginning know that relationships, for him, aren't just about romance. They're about trust, loyalty, and building a future together. Carin leaving has shaken that foundation, but the impact stretches beyond Matt's heartache. The Roloff family dynamic, already fragile with tensions between siblings and questions over the farm's future, could shift dramatically. For years, Carin played a role in bridging some of those gaps, even if not all the kids fully embraced her. Without her, the farm feels emptier, and Matt's legacy seems more uncertain. The dream of passing Roloff farms down to the next generation now feels even more complicated. Speculation is growing. Will Matt throw himself back into his work as a distraction, pouring every ounce of energy into the farm? Or will this heartbreak push him to seek comfort in new companionship, perhaps with someone unexpected? Some even wonder if this could prompt Matt to reconnect with old family ties, possibly softening his stance with Amy or reaching out more to his children in ways he hasn't before. The bigger theme here is one that fans can't ignore: love, age, and loyalty playing out under the constant scrutiny of the public eye. Matt's story reminds everyone that no matter how much success or fame someone has, relationships remain fragile, deeply human, and often unpredictable. In the end, the Roloff legacy may not just be about land or television fame. It may be about how Matt navigates these final, deeply personal crossroads in his life. As we reach the end of this emotional journey, it's impossible not to reflect on just how shocking this turn of events has been. Carin once stood by Matt as his partner, supporting him through health challenges, family drama, and the weight of preserving the Roloff farm's legacy. Fans saw them as steady, perhaps even destined for marriage. And then, almost overnight, the story flipped. Carin chose to walk away, leaving behind the years she shared with Matt to embrace a new relationship, one that quickly escalated into marriage with a younger man. For Matt, the fallout is personal and painful, forcing him to pick up the pieces of both his heart and his public image. The big question remains: was this a betrayal of loyalty, or was it simply Carin's pursuit of happiness after realizing what she truly wanted in life? Love, after all, is complicated, especially when it unfolds under the spotlight of fame. What's next for Matt Roloff? Will he bury himself in the farm and his legacy, or will he open the door to new love? And how will this decision ripple through the Roloff family, already fractured by years of conflict and change? One thing is certain: the Roloff story is far from over, and fans will be watching closely as the next chapter unfolds. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.